A Jewish story. This week's story from the Holocaust is taken from the book The Klausenberger Rebbe, written by Judah Lifschitz. As Passover, Pesach, 1945, approached, the Rebbe began to prepare for the holiday. With his faith in the Almighty, he did not have even the slightest of concerns as to how he would sustain his body during the 8 days of Pesach, when he would not eat even the smallest crumb of chametz. The Rebbe did make an effort to prepare food for Pesach. Together with some fellow prisoners, he gathered a small store of potatoes, hiding them in the cracks of the barracks walls and between the bunks. But one day the Nazi guards conducted a thorough inspection of the barracks, found the hidden treasures and confiscated them. The Rebbe, however, did not worry, relying completely on God. "We have done our part," he said, "and Hashem will do what is good in His eyes." The Rebbe's followers were astonished when it became clear the day before Pesach how correct the Rebbe's approach was. Without any rational explanation or apparent reason, the Nazis suddenly assigned an entire group of Jews to help the farmers whose fields neighbored the camp open up the stores of potatoes, which had been underground all winter. Thanks to this work assignment, the Jewish prisoners were able to smuggle back to the camp a large quantity of potatoes. The Rebbe was firm in his faith in God and announced confidently before Pesach that heaven would surely assist him to recite the blessing over matzah and to eat an olive-sized portion of matzah. When a downtrodden Jew cried out painfully, "From where will we get matzah for the seder?" the Rebbe said, "You can be assured that we will have matzah." 2 or 3 days before Pesach, this Jew came to the Rebbe and asked again, "How will we fulfill the commandment, the mitzvah, of eating matzah?" The Rebbe replied again in a confident voice, "We will have matzah." Moshe Einhorn couldn't help but ask bitterly, "Where will we get matzah from? Will it come down from heaven?" The Rebbe replied with the same trust in his voice, "You will see, we will have matzah." Then a miracle occurred. That very day, scores of Allied warplanes appeared suddenly in the skies and bombed strategic German positions, including the rail station, which was almost completely destroyed. When the bombing stopped, the Nazis assigned 12 Jewish prisoners to clean up the ruins of the rail station and the train track. To their joy and surprise, the Jews found a transport of wheat amidst the bombed-out rail cars. Hurriedly they shoveled the grain into their pockets, taking as much as they could carry. Despite the risk, they smuggled the wheat back into camp. In the camp, prisoners ground the wheat by hand, crushing it with their fingers and small rocks until it was fine enough to be flour. When it came time to bake the matzot, they knew they were endangering their lives. Late that night, a few men remained awake. Placing heavy blankets over the windows, they lit a fire in a small metal apparatus. Then the prisoners began mixing the flour with water, kneading the dough, and rolling it out with a rolling pin taken from the camp kitchen. With the Almighty's help, the baking was completed, and a small quantity of kosher matzah was baked. Please pass on this story